All right, we're live. Okay. Yeah. So basically, welcome in. This is yet another free live training that we are doing inside this very exclusive private Facebook group. How are you doing over there? So let's wait for everyone to come in for a bit because somebody was telling me that Jason, you every time come in and you just kind of like rush through all the thing, right? So okay, I take your advice. I'm gonna take it slower a little bit and hopefully we can actually engage a little bit more over here because the purpose of doing this live training is not just about, of course, I want to give you a lot more information and whatever things that you can actually learn to improvise your digital marketing so-called activities, but also it's also very important that we want to build in a way kind of like a friendship over here. So if you're watching this live, let me know where you are coming from. Can you quickly type in a comment and say hi so that I won't be alone over here? Okay, so if you're watching this as replay, you can actually fast forward a little bit towards maybe like a 3 minutes later. You won't miss a thing. Okay, so yeah, welcome in. This is we're currently going live in the Facebook ads transformation group. So if you want to invite your friends, you still can. All you need to do is to just invite your friends to join this group. And I think my team should be ready to actually let you in as and when we can. Yep. So basically, I've been doing this for a while now. Okay. How many of you have been following the so-called the live training? In fact, I actually started doing this earlier sometime in July. The first training I had was I was going live with Andrew, my good friend, about email marketing because we did actually develop a framework to help Shopee sellers or Lazada sellers or even e-commerce sellers to use email marketing to actually increase your revenue. So yeah, that's one training. I've already put together in the guides. So if you guys miss any one of them, right, you can actually still go back. Hi Intan, how are you? Okay, so if you're actually watching me live here, can you quickly type like hi or let me know where you're actually watching this from? Because I do know that my community actually consists of mostly the Southeast Asia region so-called audience. Okay, Malaysia, this is where I'm coming from. And of course, we have friends from Singapore. Anyone from Singapore, can you quickly say hi? And how many of you are actually from Philippines? So yeah, Indonesia, Thailand. Sometimes we do have some friends coming from Thailand. And even we have somebody actually from Myanmar the other day. Hey, Ravi, what's up? Okay, Ravi is here. Ravi, you've been missing for a while, right? How are you? Hope you're doing cool, right? So yeah. So guys, as usual, I just want to quickly let you know why are we doing this. Because I can. This is my group. So what I've been doing here is I've been actually conducting free live training for the past few weeks now. Other than the email marketing for Shopee or Lazada store that we did sometime in end of July, 2 weeks ago we did this Facebook ads strategy for what already? What was that? Facebook ads strategy for Shopee 99 campaign. So currently you're actually doing we are going to the final leg of the 99 campaign. I hope you are doing fine. It's completely okay if you're not getting a lot of so-called conversions coming in right now because this is how people actually do, right? We don't really buy now. We only buy on the day itself, right? So you got to hold on to it. You need to really get your tier 2, which is like the second leg, the second phase of the campaign ready right now, which is going to start on the tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow and the 99 itself. So this is where we discussed the Facebook ads strategy for Shopee 99 campaign 2 weeks ago. Last week, we talked about Facebook ads analytics. That is when a lot of people get very excited. Immediately after the training, I got so many inquiries, people asking me. Of course, we do have this one-on-one audit call that you can actually book and let us go through some of the very interesting so-called whatever case studies that you have over there, right? We will go through your campaign and I will give you meaningful suggestions on what to do. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a new lead gen, but before that, let's see. We have a friend from, this is Michael, if I'm not mistaken. Michael, what's up? Michael from Shah Alam. And the other one is Arman. Arman is from Malaysia. Welcome in, Arman. And Ravi was saying you're doing great. Awesome, 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 Ravi. And we have Paul from Singapore. Okay, now, as you can see, we have friends coming from all over the region. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope to do this as long as I can, because to be frank, everybody knows that digital marketing is not as straightforward as running ads on Facebook or posting things on your Facebook page or even posting something on Instagram and things will happen. It takes a lot of connecting the dots. That's why I hope because all these are the things that even if I want to do a paid training also, I can, but nonetheless, I think these are all the things that I would just want to actually give you a little bit of like, just give you a little bit more information. So like Chiwai here, I'm your dinner date. Come on, man. Dinner at this hour? Yeah, a bit too late, don't you think? All right, yeah, that is Chiwai. Guys, if you guys want to actually show yourself, show your face like Ravi and all right, all you need to do is to approve. I do have a link in the live over there. You can actually click, I think it's about Skype. StreamYard.com/Facebook, then you can actually approve and allow yourself to be seen as the face over there, right? Okay, Chiwai, enjoy your dinner nonetheless. Okay, I'm just gonna roll into today's topic. Okay, today's topic is a very, very important topic to a lot of people. Hey, Eric, what's up? Eric from Singapore. Eric is my JIC member. Okay, now, I just want to quickly roll into the topic today, which is, in my opinion, when it comes to advertisers that I served in the past many years, in fact, since 2010, that's about 11 odd years already. Okay, I actually do, other than helping e-commerce sellers, which is one of the area that I'm very strong at. Other than that, I also been helping a lot of brands, especially the real estate industry, generating a lot of leads. Okay, because not everybody can actually do online transaction right away. Like if you're selling a property, definitely you are not able to get people to buy and pay online, right? Or if you're actually in the financial industry, if you're an insurance agent, and industries like that, it's definitely not as straightforward as you want to get people to immediately know you and buy. Okay, that's why we have this lead generation activity, which is a very big segment when it comes to Facebook advertisers. I've been helping all these different brands all together. I did a rough calculation the other day. We roughly generated close to about 600,000 leads, working together with all the brands that I work with in the past many years. Like I was just having a discussion with one of my premium coaches. Been working with this brand for a long time. Imagine they actually generate tens of thousands of leads every single month. Tens of thousands of leads every single month. So lead generation is definitely something very important. But the problem here is I've been seeing lead generation to a lot of people is purely lead generation. That's why today I want to give you another angle to look at lead generation. That's why I call this the new lead gen. And of course, I'm not just giving you the idea. I've been practicing this. I've been actually experimenting with this so-called a little bit like a different framework that I've been doing. And it's working really well for me. And today we're going to answer a few questions. And of course, before we roll into all these important questions, I want to ask you a few things so that I can actually understand where you're coming from. Okay, so let's roll slowly over here. I just want to quickly understand, there are quite a number of people here. There are 20 over people here. I just want to understand which industry you are from. Other than my friend like Chiwai, you're an agency, I know. And I'm not sure about most of you, which industry you are actually coming from. And if you're watching this, definitely I believe your primary advertising activity or so-called the business activity using digital media is definitely lead generation. But I really want to try to know, which industry you're coming from. Hey, Visva, what's up? Yeah, this is your forte, right? Lead generation. That's why, guys, help me understand which industry you're coming from, because although we're talking about general lead generation, different industry would have different kind of like mechanism. Like for example, okay, like real estate industry, they are very rapid because they actually spend a lot of time getting people through the door, and they have a very rapid, churn and burn kind of process. They just want to get people in, get the numbers in, work on them, and if they're not ready, they usually don't spend a lot of time nurturing them. But when it comes to other industry, it may not be the same. Like we have, I'm not sure who is this. This is from the online education industry, the so-called the English language. Awesome. I mean, when it comes to language industry, then you have a different ball game to play, you see. And also we have finance here. Who is this? I'm not sure. I'm not able to see you. Like Swanti is finance. Santi is finance, and Aaron is from insurance industry. Okay, and then we have Jeff here. You are in the gaming and MLM industry. That's why you see. And then we have Ravi here from recruitment, product lead gen agency. So you're insurance side of it. Awesome, awesome. And we have corporate training here by Paul. Paul is actually in corporate training. You see, exactly what I mean here. If you are from all these industry, right, I want you to actually take a look at a few angles, like for example, all the leads that you have generated, right, which will actually go to my next question, okay, which is how do you generate leads? You see, let's say we use advertising to generate leads, okay? How do you actually, where do you lead people to? Do you use lead form a lot, or do you actually use your own website? Or you actually use the messenger to do lead generation? And some people even use the WhatsApp to do lead generation. You see, since all these industries, like we have online education, finance, insurance, gaming, MLM, recruitment, and product training, right? Okay, which I want to lead you to the next question that I have here is, this is a very critical question. So let's say you run ads to generate leads. I don't care whether you drive people to your website, or you use the Facebook lead form, the instant form, or you use the messenger, or use whatever ways to generate leads. I just want to quickly understand from you, if you're with me right now, what is the percentage of the number of leads, then a percentage of the leads that converts into customers? Like we have Paul here, Arman here, you're using website and online forms, which is cool, right? Okay, let's say you get these leads coming in. You get all these leads coming in. How many percent of your leads actually convert into customers? This is a very important question that I do truly hope that you are keeping this number close to your heart. Because if you do not know this number, then I believe you are in quite a trouble. Because here's the thing, like how I discussed about Facebook ads analytics last week. You see, my philosophy is very simple. A lot of people, when they actually run ads, when they see unsuccessful ads, what most people do is, when you have a not converting ads, unsuccessful ads, not working, high cost, and all this kind of thing, what most people do is they just chuck everything and throw them into the rubbish bin and ignore it. But here's the thing. If you do not understand why did you fail, how can you expect yourself to get better the next time? You get what I mean? How do you expect yourself to do better than your previous failed campaign the next time? Same thing. If you do not have the number of the people, actually, let's say the percentage of your leads that converts into customers, I think it's very difficult. Like over here, we have Arman here. Arman say you're about 25%. That's very good. That's very good. And we have Aaron is saying he's about less than 10%. All right, less than 10%. And Ravi was saying it depends on the client closing skill. I definitely agree. But closing skill is one thing. I think it's also coming back to the quality of leads that you're getting in, and how do you actually get the leads to qualify your leads along the way. But these are all the other nitty-gritty things that we have to look at the overall framework per se. And we have Chiwa was saying about 5 to 10%. High value items, 5 to 10% is actually pretty reasonable. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Aman was saying that's from the once already click. Okay, that's very cool. So let's say if you're actually converting, let's say 10%, let's put it at a very simple framework over here. Let's say based on all the things that we have coming here, we have Aman 25%, and we have Chiwai 5 to 10%, and we have Aaron about 10%. Let's take 10% as a benchmark over here. Okay, so let's say we will come from the 10% conversion. Okay, my next question would be, how do you nurture your leads, and what do you do with those unconverted leads? Now let's say bring the question back to the layer before this. I just want to quickly understand, okay, how do you nurture your leads? You see, like what Ravi was saying, depends on the client's closing skill. But I think it's also come back to your framework of closing as well. Skill is one thing. You see, sometimes if you solely depend on skill, let's say if you're in an organization, if you only have one very skillful salesperson, then you cannot just count on that one very powerful salesperson to close all the sale, right? You need to make sure that everybody can actually gain the capability of doing whatever you're doing. So you need to actually standardize the process of nurturing your leads. So I just want to quickly understand, what are you doing to nurture your leads? Let's say, for example, if you do calling, okay, Let's say, for example, the normal way is after you generate the leads, when they come through your door, you actually call them, all right? So after you call them, you know, how many times you follow up with them, and what is the process? What are the things that you actually talk to them? Do you have a script? Do you have a process? Like Visva is definitely an expert over here, because Visva is our master in you know, the lead conversion side of it, which is powerful. You need to talk to him, because he was one of the 3 marketer guests where we discussed about the lead for businesses and all these kind of things. Very powerful. He has his framework. But nonetheless, what I want to actually quickly look at here is you need to have a very clear framework. You need to have very strong clarity in terms of your nurturing process, because a lot of times this is where a lot of people kind of like missed. But if you have a very complex nurturing process, you're also putting yourself in trouble as well. Like for example, okay, one of my very so-called established, you know, the real estate, so-called the property client that I'm working with right now, they have 7 touch points, 6 touch points, 7 touch points kind of calling within a week kind of time. So it could be quite a lot of work, judging from the number of leads that they are getting right now. And at this kind of rate, right, their salesperson is actually very, very, very crazy. So sometimes the salesperson may not be able to cope with all the so-called SOPs or the processes. And especially if you're coming in, like, let's say, for example, all of us have very small team. I have a very small team, okay? Like maybe Aaron was just sharing with us last week. He has a very small team as well. So if you have a very small team, the next challenge is, how do you actually kind of like make sure that every single lead gets the equal treatment? You get what I mean? You get where I'm actually coming from. All right, so let's see. All right, so like Vispa was saying, like this is okay. So this is from who? This is from this is from Aaron. Aaron is saying follow up via call and email, nurture by giving them valuable content. Okay, so that's a very good one. But let me ask you this question further. How do you structure this whole thing to work for you? You see, like how do you actually make this in a way? How can you do this by, you know, how do you create a maximum impact with minimum amount of work? So that's another question that I want to actually pose to you. All right, and then Chiwai was saying the response rate. This is what Visva and you gets triggered if a client doesn't respond to the lead and came in time fast enough. I mean, that's definitely the response rate. Right? How soon you actually respond to the lead is also a very important thing. Yes, the time to market. Sometimes, many years ago, I do still have people who come to me and say that, Jason, we respond to the leads once a week. So, you know, that's just like a very old school kind of thing. Oh, we get all the leads, and every week we get 1 week. Every week we get 1 day, we gather all the leads and we distribute to the salesperson individually. If you're still doing that, then definitely you're in trouble, because even like 5 years ago, we were talking about you need to respond to your leads within 4 hours. Okay, now you probably need to respond to them even faster, and you're still waiting for 7 days for things to happen, then good luck. Don't complain about the low conversion in that case, because definitely it is your fault, because you're not responding. Like what Chiwai say, the response time is really crucial. Okay, and Ravi was saying, yeah, leads nurturing is what people needs to polish. I definitely agree. But here's the thing. Here's what I want you to start thinking. Okay, I want you to start looking at ways that can actually allow you to nurture your leads in a bigger scale, okay, that actually reduces the amount of work requires on your side, at the same time achieving the kind of impact that can actually help you get more so-called more conversion from all the leads that you are getting right now. Okay, like the other friend here, Arman, was saying, normally the rest goes to waste. You do keep the data, but normally you try to convince them once. If you're still not interested, then we move on to different leads. Definitely. I mean, that's what usually people do, right? You know, you just get the leads and then you work on them one round, maybe 5 calls or 10 calls or something like that for a while. Then after that, you just let them go. But here's the thing. I mean, they are not interested right now. That doesn't mean that they won't be interested forever. That's why I want you to start thinking about a long game in a bit over here. Okay, so Visva is saying, oh, no problem, Visva, all the time, man. You know, thanks for joining us. So if they only knew how other people are struggling, right? Definitely. And Ravi was saying, retargeting ads is considered as lead nurturing. Very good question, Ravi. Technically, yes. But depends on how you structure your whole framework as well. So today, I hope I'm able to give you a different perspective of looking at the whole thing. That's why nurturing your leads is a very, very important thing. But the next question would be this, like what Arman was saying, you actually, a lot of them, I mean, the rest of them goes to waste. Like if you convert 10% of them, let's say if you convert 10% of them, the 90% of the leads will go to waste, right? So my question to you here is this, exactly the same thing. When they are not converting right now, doesn't mean that they will not convert in the future. But here's the thing, most of the lead gen businesses out there, most of the businesses, like whether you are in investment, corporate training, what else, insurance, finance, and all that, we don't have the capacity, or rather we don't have a good plan to nurture the leads for the long term. That's what is really happening to a lot of people. And hopefully today's training, I want to give you a viable framework to do just that. Something that I've been practicing. To be frank, I'm generating leads like quite a very high number, because I have multiple lead magnets going on out there. Okay, I have quite a number of lead magnets, to be frank. If you calculate it, I have at least about 8 to 10 lead magnets going on out there. So on a daily basis, I'm actually getting at least 10 to 20 leads coming in on a daily basis. So the number is crazy. And I won't be able to go through all this one by one and all that. So I do a lot of automation. And it is exactly because of the automation that it also involves email marketing and a lot of other things, right? So in fact, I sort of developed a framework that can actually require minimum amount of my time and still able to get me that kind of impact. At the same time, able to nurture my leads in a very meaningful way and convert them in the right way. Okay, but the best part of it is you can even turn some of your leads into your advocates, which probably some of you have already kind of like helped me advocating my free classes and all this kind of thing a little bit over here. All right, so before that, we have Chiwai's question over here. Unconverted leads, keep them for EDM. Check out Andrew's framework. Exactly. All right, so before we go further, of course, this is my training, right? So I have the right to actually kind of like quickly share a little bit about myself, because this video will be repurposed to YouTube and all that. If you're watching this, if you do not know me, it's completely fine. Even for today, right, I believe other than Visva, Ravi, Chiwai, Aaron, and all that, there are still people who are actually attending my training for the first time. So I just want to quickly know whether you are a friend. Like Chiwai, definitely I know you're a friend, but if you're new to me, type #new, so that I know that you're new. I can actually look at you and know and say hi to you. At least we get to know each other for the first time over here, at least like officially, right? So if you're new to Jason, type #new. But if you have been with me for a while, whether you have gone through my training or you kind of like, just kind of like bum in here because of some lead magnets and all this kind of thing, #friend, so that we know where you're actually coming from. Okay, like Chiwa is saying, friend, but don't want add me as friend in Facebook. That's cool. Sorry, Chiwa. Okay, please request again. You've been saying this for a while, right? I can't be just ignoring you all the time. But to be frank, I don't post a lot of things on my profile. But nonetheless, come over. Just, yeah. Okay, so Visva was saying, comment, don't be shy of, exactly, right? So we have like, Tracy is a friend. Hi, Tracy, how are you? And this is Arman. Arman, you subscribe to my 6-day challenge. Thank you so much. This is Arman. And Tracy is a friend. And Aaron is a friend, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for, joining me. Again, another one. And I hope you get, value from this one. So, yeah, even if you're watching this on my YouTube channel after I repurposed this into YouTube, or even if you're watching the replay inside this Facebook group, which it will become, you can actually just let me know as well. Ravi, thank you so much. Ravi is a friend. All right, and I want to bump up the engagement of this live session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chiwai. And this is Chua. Chua is new. Hey, welcome in. And this is who? This is Tracy. What's up? Okay, and okay, bad friend. This is ST. What's up, ST? And Paul is a friend. CK is like, what? What is this, CK? What happened to you? You bump into this thing and you do not know what's happening over here? Okay, somebody help CK so that he knows why is he here, you know, and what he's supposed to do over here. Thank you so much for the engagement. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you are new to me, I'm just gonna quickly go through and you know, do a quick 1 to 2 minutes introducing myself a little bit here. So I've been in Facebook ads and business coaching since 2010. So for the past 11 years, I have actually helped over 5,000 students from 27 countries navigating success on Facebook advertising and digital marketing. On top of that, I also help brands, not just about Facebook advertising, because I also kind of like had a bit of experience digitalizing businesses, and even to build a framework on, you know, using, you know, digital media like website building funnels and all this kind of thing. I'm helping brands to build that as well. And of course, I coach brands, you know, in terms of building their offers, getting their sales direction right, and all this kind of thing. So fundamentally, it's very much digital. That's what I do. And on the Facebook side, I have a Facebook Blueprint certified professional since 2017. Been doing that, yeah, because this is a certification that we need to be recertified. I just received email from them telling me that it's time to go through to work on your recertification. So I need to go through exams again. So that's what we do every single year. And on top of that, I'm also a Facebook preferred marketing partner. I just did a quick check. In order to become a preferred partner, the minimum spend is 325,000 in the last 6 months. But I just did a quick check. All the accounts that I'm coaching right now have exceeded $600,000 in spend in the last 6 months. So that's quite significant. In fact, if you ask me, that's quite significant, because 600,000, it may not be a lot to a lot of like people, bigger agencies out there, but I'm not an agency anymore. Huh? Mind you, if you're still not sure, I'm only in coaching and training right now, 100%. I'm no longer managing accounts for clients, but even that, I work with very meaningful brands from all over the region. In fact, I just onboarded one client in Turkey, the other one in Myanmar, the other one in Korea. So these are all my coaching clients that I'm working together, coming from different industries. So that's why I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because I actually want to tell you that, look, the learning that I'm going through on a daily basis, even though I'm not managing clients right now, is actually even more enormous compared to previous time when I was managing client. Because I'm not managing client, I get to free myself from doing it exactly on my own to become a monitoring angle where I can actually spend more time to look at this in a more objective way. So that's what I do. I've been teaching, I've been coaching, 27 countries, 5,000 over students. That's what we've actually kind of like gotten so far. But don't forget, I am on my mission to help 100,000 businesses to actually transform with Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So if you're watching this with me, do help me share my future live trainings or free trainings to your friends. I'm brewing something very interesting. I'm going to make an announcement over the weekend. Share with your friends, because to be frank, you have been with me for a while. You know I don't give bullshit, and I do hope you can work with me in this journey to help more businesses from all over the world. Okay, so that's who I am. See, right? So I want to get back to the topic a little bit. So as we are talking about, all these kind of like, whatever lead gen problems that you're facing, the nurturing problems. Hey, Joseph, what's up? Joseph is in. So I just want to quickly look at the problems again. Like I mentioned, right, I have worked with, hundreds of businesses, as in managing their campaigns with them, and thousands of individuals from all around the world in terms of coaching and training them. There are a few problems when it comes to lead generation, and I want to quickly point it out to you about, what really happened. So what are the problems that is really happening, and how can you actually look at these problems in a more objective way? You see, I mean, for those who know me, you know that my training, a lot of times I want to really give you from the mindset perspective of things. I can be just teach you all the do's and things to do and all this kind of thing, but it's meaningless if you can't tweak your mindset right. Like exactly the same example that I gave to you just now. Like last week when we talked about analytics, the reason why I want you to start looking at the numbers in a very meaningful way is because I don't want you to learn what you did right or wrong in your successful or unsuccessful campaign, because only by learning you can move forward to become better Facebook advertiser, if you agree with me. But the truth is, too many people just throw away an unsuccessful campaign without looking back at it and keep on churning. But the hamster, it's like a hamster wheel, it can never end. You will always need to create a new audience combination, and you always need to create a new creative and all this kind of thing. I mean, how long can you keep doing this? All I want you to do is you want to actually free yourself from all these grinds and do more meaningful things like growing your business. That's what I believe in. If you agree with me, if you're with me. If you're with me, then hashtag awesome, right? just saying, just give me thumbs up and all that so that we know that we agree to each other. So a lot of my trainings, a lot of my so-called sharings are very much into the mindset framework. I want you to think. I want you to find the right thinking framework. So that's the best way to move forward. That's the best way to learn if you agree with me. All right, so Joseph, thank you so much for awesome. So I just want to quickly go through the problems. No, the first problem, if you're in lead generation business, you're probably facing the same problem over here is a lot of people, when they're actually doing lead generation, they actually don't have a very structured SOP. SOP, we hear this too much, right? Recently, in the past almost 2 years, it's always about following the SOP, go out, wear masks, wash hand, and all these kind of things, the SOP thing. But when it comes to lead generation, the SOP is also very important. Viswa, thank you. Yeah. So the SOP is really important because this is where you actually build a framework that is able to be passed on to someone else to do the task for you, and probably you want to scale your so-called your team. That is also something that you can look into. Having an SOP is very important. Like, for example, exactly what I mean here is, one of my client, sorry, no longer client, we are actually in coaching engagement right now, but nonetheless, it's still client. One of my client actually has 7 touch points for every leads that gets through their door. So within 7 days, I think it's within 10 days, 7 touch points. So they will have multiple calls, which is everything is structured. And then after that, they will have multiple so-called messages and all this kind of thing. So this is really the SOP. But here's the thing, even though we have an SOP, we also need to understand how much we can do. That's why the idea that I actually presented to you just now is I want you to start thinking about building a framework that is able to allow you to do the minimal amount of work while achieving the optimum outcome that you're hoping to achieve right now. So yeah, here's exactly what I'm actually thinking right now. I think Visva would agree with me. A lot of people would agree with me that it takes up to 7 touch points to convert. In certain cases, like especially now we know that like Arman is in online education industry, like Shanti is in finance, Aaron is in insurance, and we have different people coming from different industry, and all the industries that I'm looking at, especially for today's whoever who is attending right now, I believe it is a lot more important for us to have a very meaningful, nurturing framework. Of course, if you ask me, property is a bit difficult because, especially you're talking about bigger corporations, bigger companies. If you want them to embark email marketing, building all this welcoming sequence and all these kind of thing, it may not be that easy to go through because they have a different corporate structure to look at. But if you are like me, okay, it is definitely possible and viable for us to build something that is able to create that kind of multiple touch point kind of thing to help you convert and nurture. Exactly, that's what I'm actually trying to share with you right now. So it takes up to 7 touch points to convert. That's why you need to build your presence. You need to be able to actually create that kind of presence to your leads the moment they walk through your door. That's what I'm actually trying to give you today. And I want you to be able to look at this as with me. So the second problem when it comes to a lot of people who are in lead generation business is that they are not having a long-term plan. Exactly like what some of you were saying. You'll probably work on your leads for a while, for a couple of days or a couple of weeks or even up to a month. So if they do not convert, you either just throw them into an EDM or whatever, that you probably will run emails maybe once a month, which is meaningless anyway. You guys have been receiving my email. It's not once a month. It's not even once a week. It's probably once every like 2-3 days, or sometimes I may even go crazy like once a day or multiple emails a day. Like a lot of you can read. Like Chiwai, the other day in one of my training, he was just telling me, like multiple pages, right, of my emails. Hey, come on, delete lah. Seriously, if you are not into that. But there are people who come back to me and say that, hey, I keep your emails because sometimes I just want to read back, because when I need some information, I will go back to you, right? Aaron is saying every day. Really? Is it every day? Oh, I'm so sorry, but I will keep sending more, you know. Like Chiwa is saying, my promote tab is full of Jason. Seriously, promote tab? It doesn't go into your inbox. Okay, I have to work on my delivery already. That means you have not been opening my emails. You're only putting it in the promote tab. So having a long-term plan is really important. Okay, because that's the, I mean, here's the thing. When we are in business, we are in for the long game. Okay, when you're in for the long game, then you need to actually look at a lot of aspects in your business process in the long game as well, using a long-term perspective as well. So I just want to quickly go through the old lead gen that all of us have been probably doing, or probably you are still doing the same thing. Is, this is the old lead gen. Okay, if you agree with me, then you just hashtag O. Just hashtag O if this is something that you've been doing, right? So the old lead gen is how it works, right? People will just generate the leads. You run ads, whether you run ads to drive people to your online form, or you drive people to your website, which is a landing page with a contact form, or even you get people to talk to your messenger, you generate leads. So this is what we do, right? The lead generation process and all this kind of thing. And then after that, when the leads come through, you make contact. You either call them for X number of times, or you email them, or you actually message them and WhatsApp them and whatnot, right? So that's what you do, right? So you make contact. Okay, after you make contact, then you will have 10% convert, right? Which is what we were discussing just now. We agreed that we take 10% as a benchmark. So you have 10% convert, then the rest you usually abandon and you restart the whole process again. You go back to the lead generation. You go back to thinking about, oh, what am I supposed to do for my next, lead magnet? What am I supposed to do with my, the next, advertisement design, my next audience targeting? How am I supposed to bring the cost down and all this kind of thing? So it's like over and over again. But how many of you are actually kind of like really bored with this hamster wheel already? If this is what you have been doing day in, day out, how many of you actually tell me that you're tired? Just hashtag tired. If you're tired of this old lead gen method, right? Okay, just hashtag tired so that I know you are tired. There are 20 over people, close to 30 of you over here. So if you're tired of this old lead gen, my next question to you here is, what are you doing to change the process? What have you been doing to actually get different kind of outcome from this one? What have you been doing, okay, to actually get different kind of like outcome from all these things? You see, here's the thing. I'm the kind of person, I mean, everyone who are here, you must know one thing, okay? A few things about Jason Gan you probably have to remember. First thing, Jason is a very lazy person. Okay, just because I'm lazy, I don't like to spend time on doing something that is daunting, tiring, and non-productive. And that's the reason why I invented so many different kind of like my two-step funnel framework, my analytical, my Facebook ads dashboard, and all this kind of thing. Because all these are the things that can help me achieve my outcome without spending too much time. In fact, I can actually get better outcome by spending lesser time. So that's the first thing. I'm a lazy person. So that's the first thing. And second thing is I'm a crazy rebellious. I always like to break things. Because the moment I look at something that I doubt its existence, I'll be looking at, okay, let's break this and do it. And if you have been with me for a while, right, I even break my own frameworks. Like for example, at the earlier stage, my earlier success came from this 6-day challenge. It has been working well, generated me multiple six-figure in less than a year time, and I break it. Why? Because I think it's kind of like enough. It's enough. I don't want to do that kind of live training anymore, so I break it. So I work on to create different kind of framework, and I keep breaking and all these kind of things. So that's what I do, right? I'm a lazy person. That's why I actually always look for the better way of doing things, that actually can allow me to spend lesser time to achieve same or even better outcome. That's me. And I'm a rebellious person. I'm a breaker. I break things. All right. So over here, this is what? Okay. So this is actually, this is who? This is actually, I don't want my life like this anymore. This is GY. And GY say, Jeff say tired. CK, wow, bullshitting, not reliable. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, can you please leave the group? Okay, I'm completely okay, you leave the group. Thank you so much for joining me, even though I'm bullshitting. And Joseph was saying, tired till vomit. I know, right? And Intan was saying not lazy, crazy. Yeah, maybe. But here's the thing. I think the whole idea here is we have to always look for a different way of doing things. Okay, and Ravi is saying that you're lazy as well. And CK is also crazy. Well, of course, crazy people, things alike, right? Thank you so much for being crazy here in my crazy growth. But here's the thing, when it comes to the old lead gen, as we all know, it is really about the time span, and at the end of the day, you're not getting away from all these framework that you're, kind of like being stuck at. That's why I want you to start thinking about different ways. And that's what I've been doing. In fact, for the past 1 year, I've been experimenting different kind of framework and different kind of ways, different methods of doing things. And at the end of the day, I kind of like achieved something quite interesting, and I want to share with you over here. So here's the thing, okay? If you're not in for the long game, here's what we already know. I mean, 97% is based on my benchmark on all the coaches, on the clients that I worked with in the past many years. But nonetheless, we all know that about more than 90% for today's cases, more than 90%, if you convert 10%, then 90% of the leads are not ready right now. They actually either accidentally click, they came in, they don't like your price, they don't like your offer, and all this kind of thing. It could be different ways, it could be different reasons, but nonetheless, let's face it, 90% of the leads that we generate are not ready right now. But here's the thing, what if they are ready 1 year later? Okay, what if they are ready 1 year later, if you're ready next year, if you're ready 6 months later, if they're ready not now? But my question to you here is, what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing to prime them, to make sure that when they are ready, you are the first person, okay? You are the first person that they think of. That's what I want you to think about. Exactly. Let me tell you this. I've been training for a long time, okay? Like, let's not talk about the agency part of business anymore, but I've been training since 2016, 5,000 over people later. You have no idea, man. I've got people who have been, following me for a year plus, then only they decide they want to join my class. So if you are in your business, right, if you are not able to have the kind of momentum to nurture these people long enough until they are ready, you will lose them. Because when they are ready, they forgot about you already. But here's the thing. I want you to start thinking about building a framework that you can actually nurture your leads. Even when they are not ready, you want to be able to build that kind of framework that you can nurture them without spending a lot of your time. So I'm just going to share with you this framework a little bit. But oh, by the way, CK was just saying, referring to the lead gen in Facebook, it's bullshitting. Okay, I get it. I apologize for misunderstanding you as well. But anyway, thank you for joining me. So yeah, so here's the thing. Okay, I want to introduce you my new lead gen framework, which I call this the new lead gen. So here's my framework of new lead gen. I want you to look at the whole lead generation process in an entirely different way. And that's why I call it the new lead gen. So here's the process. I want you to look at this. You want to generate your leads, okay? And then after that, the next thing is you want to invite them into a community. Now, the beauty of this is when you invite them into a community, you actually build a community that they feel belong. And when it comes to a community, you're no longer a lead generator. You get what I mean? I hope you catch this. When you have a community and you're able to convert your leads into a community, bring them into a community, you become a leader. That's a very important thing. Now, the moment you become a leader, okay, you are given the capability and the power to lead. So when you are in the leader position, okay, you gain different kind of respect from your audiences. I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing right now. And when you are in the community and we are leading the community, then you can actually nurture and convert in an entirely different way. That's what I want you to look at this right now. In fact, a lot of you probably realize this is exactly what I'm talking about. The new lead gen is this, which is, I want you to start looking at a community that you can actually, the community itself can grow on its own. Okay, so you generate leads, you bring them into this community, and the community is growing by itself. At the same time, you're also fostering different kind of connection among the community, and you become the leader of the community. So that's what is really possible when it comes to this kind of, when you're able to lead a community or lead a movement like this. And then you can actually do this with a Facebook group. So exactly what I'm actually sharing with you right now, the next few slides is really to tell you why you should go Facebook group and what I have achieved, okay, using a Facebook group to become my lead generation powerhouse. You guys ready? You guys ready? So I mean, I just go through a few reasons why you should consider doing a Facebook group. First thing first, a Facebook group is a closed environment. So when it's a closed environment, meaning that you can actually be the leader, as in like you can do a lot of things that you are probably not comfortable doing it outside. Like for example, I don't do my live training outside to my Facebook page. Or sometimes occasionally I do it on my YouTube channel because I want to make sure that I'm talking to the people that I like. I want to make sure that I'm talking to people that I'm comfortable, like you guys. All right. So when you're in a closed environment, it is your environment. It is a place that you can actually be yourself. And it's a place that you can actually build different kind of content and do different kind of engagement. And when you are in a comfortable position and in a comfortable environment, you're also able to nurture your audience in a more meaningful way. That's why a Facebook group is a very powerful audience nurturing environment. Okay, and you might be asking, some of you may be thinking, Jason, I know you're referring to this Facebook ads transformation group, but Jason, I see you post sometimes, yes, okay, but look, there is no engagement. There is no people commenting on your post. There is no people, and when I have a Facebook group, right, you probably do, nobody comment, nobody actually do anything. But here's the thing, they don't comment or they don't like your post doesn't mean they are not consuming the content. You get what I mean? Right? I'm going to show you exact number. In fact, this group is not big. It's only about 1,005 people inside this Facebook group. But in fact, right, the number of active users in this group is crazy. You will be surprised. I'm going to show you the data. So when you're in a group that is comfortable for you and for your audiences, which will become a very different kind of level of nurturing, you definitely have the permission to sell. Here's what I always believe. For those who follow me all the time, what my belief is very simple. Okay? To me, selling is servicing. Selling is servicing. How many of you agree with this hashtag service? Selling is servicing. Why? Because you probably have gone through different kind of buying experience with me. If you have followed me for a while, you sign up to my courses, you sign up to my programs, you know that I'm not selling you, but instead I'm servicing you because I'm so clear about the problem that you're facing. And I do have a very clear solution to your problem, which is when the selling happens, it's a problem solving exercise. It's a problem solving process. There is no selling. It's just an exchange. So selling is servicing. Selling is servicing. So the moment you have your people in your group, okay, you are actually servicing, and you have the permission to sell all the time. Agree? Like Arman was saying, service, and then this is Aaron was saying, selling is servicing. Well, that's right. Intan agree. And Jeff is saying, what percentage of group members can see your posts? Hang on. I'm getting to that. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. So when you have a permission to sell, I mean, that's the reason why I always like to tell people that a Facebook group is like your most important kingdom that you can build. But of course, some people may argue that, I can actually do this. Like I can build a Telegram group. I mean, of course, these are different ways. But in my opinion, Facebook group still is one of the most powerful one because of the ability to do different kind of like engagement in there. I can do Facebook Live like this. I can do training. I can group them into guides. Okay, I can actually do video posting. I can do text posting. I can do poll. There's so many things I can do inside this Facebook group over here. All right, so that's exactly. So I just want to give you a few ideas. Like I've been talking about this. Probably you guys have seen it. If you're selling on Shopee or Lazada, or even if you have your own e-commerce store, you can actually have a Facebook group. So all you need to do is very simple, right? Whoever who bought from you, in your thank you note, you just tell them that, hey, can you join my Facebook group and I'll give you like 10% discount for your next purchase. Why not, right? The note doesn't cost you much money. But you just imagine every 100 people who bought and gotten your parcel, let's say we convert 20% of them really come back and buy another thing at 10% discount. That's like what? You're paying zero for all these purchases, my friend. And they join your Facebook group. What's next? Oh my God, you can do so many things. You can talk to them, you can share with them their latest promotion and your latest product and all this kind of thing. You can do so many things for e-commerce purposes. E-commerce people, you must start a Facebook group. Whatever you're selling right now, you must start a Facebook group. Okay? Now, when it comes to lead generation people, like all of us are in lead generation. Okay? So whoever who actually submitted your lead, you should and you must invite them into a Facebook group. When they join your Facebook group, you can do different things. As you already know, I've been doing crazy things. And do you guys like what I do inside this Facebook group? If you like it, then give me a thumbs up or hashtag whatever, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the thing. You know, the group for your leads is really important and powerful if you know how to do it right, if you know how to frame it right, if you know how to structure the whole thing right, which I'm going to share with you what I did. I want to share with you what I did right, you know, in the past few months. In fact, I've been doing a different kind of experiment for the past 1 year plus. And, you know, to be frank, in recent 3-4 months, we have been seeing very good growth coming in like this right now. It's very powerful. Okay, like we have Jeff saying yes, and like Aaron is saying crazy like. Thank you. You know, like Shiva is saying, your group is already my cut. Wow, that's really crazy. Huh? So I'm happy, right? Exactly what I mean here. When you're able to create a community that you can, work like this, you have no idea how I like my group like this, to be frank. But I want to warn you first. Whatever I share with you is really something that has already come to a point where you can see the outcome coming, you can see the momentum coming. But 1 year later, when I started this group in July 2020, just 1 year ago, it was crickets, and it was crickets for many months. It was crickets for many months, and I had no clue what to do. How can I grow it? How can I make it work? How can I make people comment? How can I make? But at the end of the day, I actually managed to lift myself and look at the things in a very different kind of angle. And I managed to reach something and managed to get myself to feel at peace with things that I do. And eventually I was able to turn this group into a lead generation machine and money-making machine. Also, and another angle is, in fact, I just want to tell you, I have been using Facebook group as my lead magnet. Some of you probably have experienced, okay? A lot of times when I create a training or when I do something, I just create a Facebook group and it's empty, nothing. I'm just gonna tell you that, look, this is a group that you need to join if you want to join this training. In fact, I've been doing this as well. This group itself, every week I have this training, okay? Every week I have this training, I just post an event and I spend a little bit on ads, very little, I will tell you later. And I run my emails, and in fact, you know what happened? A lot of people actually forward my emails to their friends, and I start growing very meaningful number of members to the group and my email list as well. I'm going to show you the number, okay? In fact, in the past 2 weeks, we have been doing active training on a weekly basis since 2 weeks ago. This is the 3rd week now. Every week, we are seeing about 100 people joining the group. You can imagine, almost zero cost. It's that powerful. Okay, so group can be a lead magnet if you know how to position it right, if you know how to build it right. So what I'm actually trying to say here is that I'm going to share with you exactly Jason's Facebook group lead magnet framework. How awesome is that, right? Okay, so I'm just going to, I was just building this slide in the afternoon. To be frank, everybody knows me. I kind of have the idea about what I want to say, but I only build my slides very last minute. That's what I do, right? So here's the thing. Here's what I do. Here's what I've been doing. You have been observing as well. Okay, my Facebook group, Jason's Facebook group lead magnet framework. Okay, that's cool. I think, anyway, it's a bit long, but I don't think you mind. So first thing first, you do something free. So even though you have leads coming in, you have, let's say if you're an e-commerce group or something like that, if you're an e-commerce group, you can even do something like a weekly basis. You can actually do unboxing. People love it. Like, you can actually do product training. You can do product sharing. Because these are all useful content that you can actually share to your audience. And at the same time, I want you to think few steps ahead. You see what I do right now. Every time I do this training, the next thing is I post it on YouTube. And you know what? Whenever I post this on YouTube, I'm able to use this as a lead magnet to reach more people, which I will have different framework kind of to bring people in. So free training or free sharing, and then set it up as an event. at least a few days before the event. Like every Tuesday we have this training, I would usually fix my topic on this Friday or Saturday. So at least you give it about 3 to 4 days. Usually it's about Friday to Saturday. You give it a few days for people to, you set up an event so that people can respond to it. And you can actually look at how I set up my event. I always have a very clear call to action that you need to join the Facebook group. So do this in a very meaningful way. Now, a lot of people tend to kind of like, a lot of actually experts came to me and said that, Jason, I hate those kind of like free training, upselling kind of thing. I mean, you hate it because they are not really giving you any value. But come to think of this, like Shiva have attended all my 3 trainings up to now, right? Do you hate my sharing right now? Do you hate my free training? Do you feel cheated? Even though I do sell you something towards the end of the training, you don't feel cheated because you get value out of it. So the whole idea is very simple. The moment you give value, okay, people will definitely love you, and then encourage sharing. In emails, I told you that you can actually forward this to your friend, and which a lot of people did. And if you receive this kind of email from me again, I was asked you for the same thing. If you like what I've been doing, if you like the value that I've been giving to the community, share this to your friends. In fact, a lot of friends may need this kind of help, and you won't know. In fact, now, even though we are actually recovering, like the what entertainment industry is coming up, and like GSC is asking you to reinstall the app already, but nonetheless, the market is still very volatile. A help is a help. Okay, get out there. So you can actually run some ads. Like I do run some ads, but I only boost my event to my warm audiences, like what Ravi was just saying. I do use this retargeting ad, but I was only boosting my event. So I share this event to my, I share this event to my, what do we call, to those people who actually watch my video, engage with my page, or visit my website. So I do have these kind of ads running in, and I only spend very little. So every single post or every single event, you must have a very clear call to action, which you want them to join a Facebook group. So you do your thing in your group, you ask them to join a group, okay? And then you use the Facebook group question to capture email. This is what you do, all right? Because you know that if you have a Facebook group, you know you can actually ask up to 3 questions, all these 3 questions, and basically you can actually kind of like ask them do anything, but I would strongly recommend that you need to capture their email. That's really for sure the most important thing. So you use this to actually get questions. So I've been doing this for a long time. I think we're gonna overrun, okay, just to preempt you guys if you guys don't mind. All right, so if you have been doing this, right, so the outcome in 1 month, I don't want to tell you the grandmother's story about what we have done in the past few months. I just want to quickly tell you that what we did from August until now is about a month now. So up to now, we have 3 trainings altogether. Okay, and then in 1 month's time, what kind of outcome that we have achieved? So yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly share with you. But before that, let me see. So this is who? Chiwa is saying you attended my event, ended up your friends also joining. Okay, like Visva is here, right? Okay, Visva feel cheated, don't take money, open. Okay, so yeah. All right. Basically, like, okay, so you guys are chatting over here. Ravi was saying, is there any way to get a copy of today's slides? No, this is free training. I don't share slides, but nonetheless, I'll keep the I'll keep the replay here. You can watch this as many times as you want. In fact, as you know, my slides are all just words, my friend. What do you do with that? Anyway, yeah, thanks for that. So I'm just gonna quickly share with you the outcome. So we've been doing 3 trainings up to now, okay, since 2 weeks ago until now. And this is the 3rd one. We're going to have more to come, definitely. But nonetheless, here's what happened. This is the growth of my Facebook group members in a month. Okay, so we started at 1281. That's the 9th of August. And now we are like 1475. It's about 200. It's about 200. The growth, it's okay. It's about 200. And to your surprise, right, we only have about 1,005 members right now. But look at my active members. This is my number of active members. Sometimes we have 200 over people active, which I did nothing, you know. At that point of time, I did nothing. But these people are just very excited. I don't know why they are here for. But anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. So please make rah-rah inside this group. Do whatever you want. I'm not complaining at all. So just go ahead and do whatever you want. So 800 over out of 1,005 of my members are active. Exactly what I'm actually trying to tell you here is, when it comes to group, you can't, I say, here's the thing. We don't need to look at the algorithm anymore. In fact, you can't understand the Facebook newsfeed algorithm. You can't do anything about it. And in fact, you know, Facebook page is screwed and the profile is kind of screwed. But if you're able to, you know, activate your group in a very meaningful way, like what I did in the past few weeks, you can actually get this kind of data. Half of my members are active. Half of my members are active. It's that kind of level right now. So anyone is not convinced that Facebook group is the next place that you want to build, then you know you may leave right now. So yeah, so here's the outcome. Okay, so we have grown about 200 new members. Okay, and we have gotten 150 emails, new emails, because some are actually invited by their friends, some actually came in through ads. But here's the amount that I spent. In fact, I was really calculating. I was only spending about 36 ringgit. If you're from Malaysia, that's less than 10 US dollar. Okay, that's less than 40 ringgit. I only spent about 36 ringgit something. Because I only run minimum ads, I was actually using the, you know, the post engagement. I was actually promoting the Facebook page, Facebook event response. That's what we get. And out of which, right, as you probably know, I've been selling during all my training. I will invite you to join my one-on-one coaching. I will invite you to actually go on my programs and all this kind of thing. In the past 2 weeks, I've generated close to 2,000 in revenue, over 2,000 in revenue generated. That's US dollar. And I was not hard selling. You guys probably already know it. I never hard sell. I just tell you that, look, if you like this, that this is what we do. And come on in. That's what's the next step. And all that's how we actually roll together. That's how it works. It's as simple as that. So this is exactly the outcome that I've achieved in the past 1 month, from August 9 until today. So with only 40 ringgit spent, what is the ROI that I'm actually looking at? And what is my investment other than the amount of money? I only need to be here for an hour a day, an hour a week, okay? And this 1 hour, it's not wasted. Why? Because I'm making you, you know, really comfortable with me, and I'm really happy enjoying the whole process of training over here. It's not work, put it this way. An hour with you like this over here is not work. But the best part is I'm also already generating revenue out of which all this exercise that I'm doing. And on top of that, this training itself will actually make me money for many, many months or years to come. Because whatever training that I've created over here is my lead magnet. Every time I do a new training like this, it becomes a lead magnet. And every time I have a lead magnet like this, I have a call to action towards the end of it. And I'm selling. And that's exactly how I've been actually building crazy things like this in the past 1 year plus. Right? That's exactly what I do. Exactly what I do. So if you like what I've been doing, right, so you have to actually do this. But of course, the next thing you need to do is you need to capture email, and I will introduce you to my group connect, which is something that I actually get my team to build because I need it myself. So here's the thing, right? When you're actually getting people to join your Facebook group, you need to ask questions, right? So when you ask questions, right, let me bring in over here. So here's the membership questions. So you should actually set membership questions. At least you need to know their email, and then you need to ask another 2 questions, whatever that you want to ask. So this is actually the questions that you ask. That you can ask 3 questions. Now, when you actually ask questions, then before you approve your members, you need to, usually that's what people do. You need to manually capture their address, email address, and all that into an Excel sheet or a Google sheet. So, and then after that, you need to manually add them into your email service provider, which is either you're using MailerLite or whatnot. So that's the kind of process that I feel daunting. And I wanted this myself because I have a growing group. Imagine I have 200 members, 200 plus members joining every month right now. So even I have my teammates to help me populate this thing over, but it's still an amount of work. So what I did was I actually built Group Connect. Now, Group Connect is technically what do we call a group, so-called Google Chrome extension that once you have installed and you have installed, and then you can actually log in, and it looks like this, very simple. So what would change? Okay, very simple. So when you have a member request, so this is where you have member requests. Before people want to join your Facebook group, you have to make sure that you actually turn it into a private group, and then you need to ask questions. So before they join the group, right, this is where you approve the members. Now, usually you only have approve button. Okay, if you look at yours, you only have approve button. But as you can see, I have an extra button here called Add to Sheets. Now, this is because I've installed this Group Connect. This is my Chrome extension. So once you have installed this Group Connect, this will be the additional interface that you will see inside your membership requests. So first thing first, this is the link where you can actually put in your Google Sheet link. So this is the Google Sheet that I've created. So this is the Group Connect data sheet. So yeah, it's waiting for it to load a little bit. So this is the Google Sheet that you have created. Okay, so all you need to do here is you just link your link over here. So here's the link, right? The Google Sheet link. Here's the whole damn link. Okay, and then you put it in here. Okay, so all you need to do is before you approve, you just need to make sure that you add these people to Sheet. You click Add to Sheet, and then Add to Sheet, and Add to Sheet. All right. So once you have clicked Add to Sheet, right, you can actually click on this and open Data Sheet, which you will open up over here. So as you can see here, we have added the 3 person into the sheet, right? Huiyin, Jeremiah, and Aro. Then after that, once you have added the sheet, this is the buffer, this is the dashboard, the buffer, page over here. So all you need to do next is either you want to export it as a CSV or you can push to Google Sheet. So before that, I want to show you, right? The sheet here is empty. So I'm just gonna click push to Google Sheet, and over here, it will ask you whether you want to clear this thing. So you clear, all right, and it's done, and it will be captured over here. So it just come in like this, very simple. So what can you do next? Because this is Google Sheet, okay? Next, you can actually use Zapier to automate it. You can either use Zapier to automate it to your, this is what I do. As and when a new spreadsheet row in Google Sheets added, I would actually create a new subscriber in my MailerLite. Or if you don't have MailerLite, which I strongly recommend that you do anyway, you can actually do a simpler one, meaning that as and when somebody being added to the sheet, which is this sheet, okay, it will send an email using your Gmail. So that's how this thing can be done. It's pretty powerful, to be frank. The moment you have this thing automated, like let's say, for example, I use this. So as and when a new spreadsheet being added, it will actually push this data into my MailerLite. And then after that, on my MailerLite, I have a 3 email sequence being built. So you will receive 3 emails in 3 days' time from me, which is kind of like the way that primes you and all this kind of thing. So that's actually kind of like the automation that you need to build. And immediately, life is easier. So all you need to do is just go back to the framework that I did just now. All right, what was the framework over there? What was the framework? Free training every week if you can. I mean, it's not hard to do, to be frank. Like I've been doing this, I thought it's hard. I don't think so. I'm enjoying this right now. So do your training, set up the process, which I already given you the framework, and you've been observing me how I do this. Do this for yourself. But of course, all I want to tell you here is, look, you may not be able to see that kind of outcome right away because that involves a lot of things as well. Like, for example, you need to be super clear about your offer. Like if you're not sure, I mean, for a lot of you already have your offer, which you can, very easily just tell people that if you're interested, if you want to learn English language with me, you can actually join this. After you give them value, you ask for something. And then you can actually do like free financial training for, like Swanti and Aaron. Once you say that if you need me to look at your policy or something like that, you can actually schedule a one-to-one call. You got to be really clear about what you want to ask. You want to make it very easy for this thing to do. And in fact, there is kind of like a framework that involves in between. Okay, so the front end offer is really important. You need to give them value that they want, not value that you want to do or you feel good about. So you give them the value and you need to have a very clear ask. So this thing has to be built in between. And of course, you need to structure your Facebook group. You need to structure your email. There are quite a number of things to be done. But what I'm actually trying to tell you here is this is exactly what I mean by the new lead gen. It's the right way to do, because if you look at this, there are many angles that is being taken care of. First thing first, you have an automated lead nurturing process, not just in the email part of it, also in the Facebook group part of it. Just imagine if you come into my universe today and you're not ready to sign up to my course, doesn't matter. As long as you stay in this Facebook group, if I do this every month, maybe like 3 to 4 weeks, that will be like 50 over free trainings. To me, I built 50 over lead magnets that works for me like crazy out there. But to you, you are being primed and actually nurtured by me in a crazy way. And that's what I mean by the new lead gen, because we do not just convert, because every time I have an ask, you also actually nurture them at the same time. You turn them into advocates. How many of you have been sharing my excuse me, my training like this to your friends? How many of you have been sharing my emails? How many of you have been inviting your friends to my next training and all this kind of thing? You are my advocates. Exactly what I promised you. You will have a new lead gen framework that converts, nurtures, and turn your audience into your advocates in a very simple framework like this. Yeah, you guys liking this? Okay, so all you need to do is just go over and build this. Like this is Aaron. Aaron is asking, is it applicable only to closed group? As at the moment, private group, not secret group, private group. And I will encourage that you build private group because you don't want your nonsense people to come into your group, and you want to have the ability to just kick them out. If you don't like them, if they do nonsense over here, kick them out. So that's what we do. Private group works really well. And then yeah, that's what we do. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly go for the what's next. That's my ask. Very simple. I don't have a lot of things to talk about, to be frank. I only have one thing to sell today. If you like what you're seeing right now, first thing first, Group Connect is a very powerful tool that bridges a very important gap that helps you capture the data from your Facebook group into an Excel and a Google Sheet, which in turn you can start automating this using Zapier to do a lot more things. So that's the link to go to the Group Connect. Okay, so that's the link that you can actually go to tribeacademy.com/Group Connect. That's the link you go in. You have the choice to go for monthly subscription or the yearly subscription. And both you can get 7 days free trial. Go for it. Okay, so just test something, but remember you don't just buy this thing, right? You need to build your value. So if you need help, if you're like, seriously, this looks very daunting to me, you're talking about having a Facebook group, I need to plan my content, I don't even know whether my content can really work for people or not, I don't even know how to build my ask. Now when I want to get people to set up the one-to-one call, how should I do this? And how should I actually do the MailerLite integration and all that? Look, this is exactly what I want to help you as well. If you want to build this kind of framework and you're not sure, you're feeling everywhere, and you say that, come on, Jason, I like your framework. Can I just have yours? Can you just come in and advise me how to do this? Yes, this is the link. I have a one-on-one framework development program, which this is super rare. Okay, I would probably take a few coaches every month. As you all know that I'm 100% on coaching and training, and that's the benefit of it, which is I get to work on things that I love doing. Other than my Facebook advertising, I also have other coachings like this. If you want to build your one-on-one, if you want to build your framework surrounding your Facebook group, which is what we are actually looking at, and you kind of see the value of Facebook group, and you want to build a framework like me, like mine over here, okay? What we will do is we will go through a 4-week one-on-one coaching with me, where I will look at your framework, I will tell you what to do, I will help you go through even the front end free sessions training or whatever lead magnet kind of like design, the product design, maybe towards the process of it, and the MailerLite part of it if you need help on that as well. But don't expect me to do for you. This is a done with you program where I will coach you on a one-on-one basis, on a weekly basis. We will actually meet once a week, and I'm going to advise you on the things to do and to build all these things. In 4 weeks' time, you have a framework and you have the clarity and you have exactly what you need to do every single week, every single step that is being set up perfectly. So that's the link that you can actually go in, apply. You need to apply. I will have to look at your business whether I'm interested or not. If I'm interested, then let's go to a one-on-one call, a 30 minutes discovery call, and we will see whether I can help you or not. If we can work with you, then perfect. That's how we do this thing together. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I have for you today. All right, now let's see. We have this from Wu. Okay, how to get people to attend your Facebook event. You did 2 events last week, both sessions only 2 people attend. Your brother and your upline. You need to do a bit of work, of course. You need to do a bit of promotion. If you have strong community like mine, then I just do event and I run a bit of ads, and you can run email marketing. All these are the tiny little things that you need to do to actually pull your crowd. Okay, like today, 30 over people, not too bad. Our best was about 40-ish people. But nonetheless, you also have to look at not just people who attend right now. You also have to understand that a lot of people actually watch this as a replay. Like our replay has got very strong view. Like the Facebook ads for Shopee 99 campaign, our replay on YouTube has already reached about 300 views. And on Facebook, already a few hundred views as well. So, I mean, people do watch. But nonetheless, you need to actually build that kind of habit. Like I mentioned to you, my friend, when I first started this group like 1 year plus ago in July 2020, when I do live like this, crickets, okay, you still have brother in the upline. Okay, I was really myself and my teammate, 2%. We're just doing that one-on-one. So you have 2%, I've, that, okay? So that's kind of the thing that you have to endure. You don't expect things to happen, overnight. You need to build that kind of goodwill. You need to build that kind of momentum. How long have you been in this Facebook group? It's been a while. So it takes time. But nonetheless, you need to gain the clarity and certainty about what needs to be done. And you need to endure, you need to pull through that process as well. It's a long game, remember? It's a long game. Like, I always like to tell people, if you're in business, you're in for the long game. So do not expect fast sprint, fast result. If you want to do fast result, you probably should go buy 4D. You don't run business. Business is a long game thing, and there are ups and downs. These are all the things that you have to pull through. We all know that. But even you want to build a framework like this on Facebook or whatever, Facebook group or even whatever platform out there, it takes time. But nonetheless, it can be done. I just show you that it's really powerful if you know how to do it right. This is only like about 1,005 members inside this Facebook group, but I got half of my members are active. That's the thing that I want you to actually look forward to, and it's totally possible. All right, so that's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy this. We're going to make an announcement for the next free training, and we're going to have a big one coming in. So watch out to my emails. I would suggest you don't unsubscribe to my emails unless you really hate me. Okay, if you kind of like, okay, this guy is too much, then you probably keep it there. And because sometimes my emails are really like crazy, but nonetheless, if you want to stay updated with all the new things or free things coming in your way, you want to be in the email list. Okay, so guys, thank you so much, guys. That's it. That's all I have. And yeah, I will see you in the next one, hopefully next week. And thank you so much. Thanks, TY. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, everybody. See you next week. Bye-bye. Good night.